What's going on, everyone? Chris Matt coming at you today with the EPIC H.A.C.K.S Red Sonja from Fight Studios. And I blame all of you for me picking up this figure because I saw all of your awesome action figure photography and it enticed me to pick the dang thing up. In particular, I blame Tuggernaut. I watched both of your video reviews, buddy, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is an awesome piece. I gotta pick it up because she is an awesome character. Now, if y'all do want to pick this up, as I always say, first and foremost, support your local comic shop or wherever it is to get your action figures and comics and grab this piece. At the time of this recording, it is also available on Big Bad Toy Store as well as Entertainment Earth. And so we see Red Sonja, she-devil with a sword, and we can see all the awesome accessories that this character is coming with. Nothing really on the top other than the age, because this is not a younger age-appropriate figure. Fight Studios there. And then it just kind of tells you everything that is available in the box, which is really cool, along with all of their social media places. So make sure to go give Fight Studios a follow. Love that very comic-esque Red Sonja style with the comic book artwork on the side. If you all know who this artist is, please let me know, because that is some gorgeous artwork. On the back, get a relatively cool product shots of how Sonja can look at the different ways you can pose her, along with the muted out comic book styles. Very cool. We're going to start saying cool. And it includes one of 3 collectible inserts. Dun, dun, dun! There is a read-up, so I'll make sure to get a close-up so you guys can check it out at your convenience, as well as all the cool accessories that this figure comes with. On the other side, just the side windows with all the different inserts it can come with, and then, of course, EPIC H.A.C.K.S information there. Now, with all that gushing aside, is this figure worth your time? Let's bust it out, get a closer look at it. Red Sonja is a sword and sorcery character created by writer Roy Thomas and artist Barry Windsor Smith for Marvel Comics in 1973, first appearing in Conan the Barbarian issue 23 from February 1973. Sonja was partially inspired by Robert E. Howard's character Red Sonja from Rogatino, I believe is how you pronounce that, from the 1934 short story The Shadow of the Vulture, published in the Magic Carpet magazine. Sonja of Rogatino, I think, was a gun-slinging warrior woman of Polish-Ukrainian origin with a grudge against the Ottoman Sultan. Thomas created a new origin story and moved Sonja's timeline from the 16th century of Howard's original time to the Hyborian age so she could interact with Conan. Now, for further information, Red Sonja's origin story was recounted in the story The Day of the Sword in Marvel Magazine, Cole, and the Barbarians issue 3 from 1975. A group of mercenaries kills her family, burns down her house. Sonja attempts to defend herself, but cannot lift her brother's sword. She is assaulted by the leader of the group. Answering her cry for revenge, the red goddess Sektesh appears to her and gives her incredible fighting skills on the condition that she never lies with a man unless he can defeat her in fair combat. If you want to try and wrap your mind around some of the more odd stories in the Sword of the She-Devil Marvel Teen-Up issue 79 from December of 1979, Red Sonja is reborn in the present-day Earth of 616 when her sword is found by her descendant / reincarnation Mary Jane Watson. Now, in 2005, Dynamite Comics began publishing Red Sonja. The series debuted with a 0 issue, written by Michael Avon Oem and Mike Carey and drawn by Mel Rubai. The comic depicts the original Sonja's death in issue 34, and a new character of the same name, described as a reincarnation, takes her place with issue 35 and onward. So there's a brief description on Red Sonja. Now, for those inserts that we were talking about just a moment ago before we really dive into the accessories, this is the one that I got. And I gotta say, it's a really nice piece. Now, I'm sure with the production that they put into the figure, they probably couldn't insert a comic, but it would have been so cool if this would have been a comic book instead of an insert. Even a mini comic, I would have been a happy camper, because that's just all it is an insert. So if you want to put it on your wall, or just leave it in your action figure box, either way, I'm glad that they did include that. Now, for the rest of the accessories that Sonja comes with, she comes with this really cool peg, and it's actually a peg stand. It's thick, kind of hollowed out, but works really well. I'm glad that they kept that old school Red Sonja logo. Looks nice. She comes with the Screaming Head, which we will be doing a comparison with here later. but I love the flow of the red hair. I wish, again, just like with the Marvel Legends and McFarlane, I wish that they would make this hair soft, because as we get into the articulation, that's going to kill it. But that screaming face just looks awesome. The greenish eyes look absolutely exquisite. The teeth, the lipstick looks great. The more somber looking face, I love these big red earwings that they put on her face, but she kind of still has that serious "don't mess with me" look. And again, with the flowing red hair, absolutely beautiful. She comes with the shoulder pads. Love that gold sheen on the front with the blue emeralds. The leather, and it's very pliable. So thankful for that, especially when you start swapping out accessories. You don't have to worry about breaking. She comes with another waistband braid, and I love this chainmail on the loincloth. Just looks great. And of course, be careful with these, that can rip. Again, very pliable. Glad for that. Hand-wise, she does come with kind of a resting hand and more of an open holding hand. 2 punching hands. And then on her, the ones that come on the character themselves, of course, she's got her sword holding hand on both hands there. And she comes with those bracers that we see on her wrists. And then she comes with an extra piece, ones that don't close. Now, what irks my Gurk is the fact that you could take her bracers off, and they didn't give us any skin-toned hands. So it's sort of like, that's going to look ugly. So you're more than likely, thankfully with this figure being more versatile, you could probably use some like Marvel Legend hands, like some rogue hands or something, and you should be able to take the gloves off. Now she comes with another belt where you can put in the sword, I believe. Has the little thing. So weapon storage in mind, always makes me happy. The sword in and of itself is really nice too. It's got that beautiful metal sheen to it. That green jewel in the middle. The hilt looks great. Beautiful sword. She also comes with a scabbard. I love that they actually made it look like it's leather wrapped with the gold tips. And it fits in relatively nice. So that's awesome. And then she does have a plug in the back. Like right now she's wearing this, so the plug is in use. But like with, it's one of these. I don't remember which one, but there's a way that you can apply both so that you can put the sword on her back and still have her have her piece on. I think it's just with the default bra, I think. She comes with this badass battle axe. I mean, look at the sheen on that and the chip, so it doesn't look perfect. That black wrap. Hilt looks great. She comes with these cool golden bands that can go on her arm. Very beautiful. Love how the gold just shines in the light. She does come with an extra leg thing, so if you don't want to have the knife, which again, props for weapon storage, hell yeah. You can just have a regular leg bracelet there, so that's cool. Knife looks great. A gold sheen with the metal sheening. Gorgeous stuff all around there. And then the other accessories that come on her body, she comes with this, again, it's kind of, this is another problem, is because of that hard hair, it grabs this once in a while, but thankfully it goes back into place relatively easy. She kind of comes with that more serious face. Comes with this piece, of course, her chest piece, the loincloth, the extra gloves. Good stuff all around. Now, as for the paint apps on this figure, skin tone looks great. I was talking about the other ones. Green eyes look awesome. Metal looks great. Boots got that very much barbarian look about it. Beautiful piece all around. But the only downfall is because this thing's universal, you can swap out a lot of stuff. These do get droopy, so that is kind of frustrating. Now, I keep saying universal. What do I mean by that? So, because of all these accessories, and we're so used to having to kit bash with like Marvel Legends and having to warm them up, take them apart, just like with McFarlane. it took me a minute to click in my head that, oh, Red Sonja, this EPIC H.A.C.K. is its name for a reason. Now, before what I show you, let me preference saying, warm up your figure. Because even though this thing is pretty durable, you can run the risk of breaking your figure. So, when I was looking at this, I was like, how the hell do you get these cod pieces on? Because you can't fit it on the legs. I tried doing the Marvel Legends thing where you take the arms up to try to slide things on, and I was like, there's no freaking way. So, let's pray that I don't snap my finger, but I'm going to show you why this thing is so freaking versatile. So the head, of course, comes off, so you can unsnap this from the back. But then you're just kind of like, well, how the hell do you get the chest piece off if you want to give her something else? So, boop. Boop. And then you just kind of work the butterfly joint backwards. And then you just slide it off that way. Then get this piece off. Snaps at the torso so that you can lift this off. And put that on. I mean, how freaking cool is that? Now, we're not done. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, we're not done, my friends. I had to warm her back up, but the legs come off. And then we're not done. The body part, look at that. So you basically have a figure that you can take completely freaking apart and do what you will with it, which helps when you want to put leg bracers on them. You can either put them on this way and work it around the butt, or work it up the leg. And then because the arms pop off, well, I have to go the other route. Just take the hand off, take the bracer off. And look at that. But see, because you what do you call it? Because you have the bracers coming off, it just drives me nuts that she doesn't have any skin hands. It's just all, I mean, you don't put the bracer back on, and it just looks ugly fugly. See what I mean? But yeah, 30 pieces for this figure. And to be this versatile, and now I understand why it's EPIC H.A.C.K.S. Hell yeah. I wish that McFarlane and Marvel Legends would follow suit, because that would just help so many of us collectors trying to add all these different things that we want to do to kit bash these figures. Now here's Sonja put back together. I added the other loincloth, took off the top piece here, and that plugged directly into her back like so. So that's awesome that they thought of that. And then I added the gold onto her arms, and the different gloves, different hands, and a different head. And as you can just see, very versatile, beautiful figure. So if EPIC H.A.C.K.S continues to release stuff like this, if they do like a Conan one to go with this, then I'm definitely going to go that route, because I'm really debating now to get a Conan to match this figure. My only gripe, moving into the articulation. Well, couple, but again, the stiff hair. I wish that they would have made it soft like when we went over the Alpha Flight Shaman, because you saw that we were able to move his head. But you can get her to look down that far because it's on that ball peg. Got a lot of play. And thankfully, you can get it over her shoulders like so. Arm goes up. Thankfully, her hair does not impede her. Upper bicep swivel. Double jointed elbows. Now, some of these hands, they rotate up and down like this one, and they spin. The other hands do the regular back and forth in the 360. So you got that going on. And even though you can take her apart at the solar plex, thankfully, that doesn't cause any issues. So you can get a lot of range of motion there. And then just like I was talking about with all the female characters from the Legends line, you get 2 pivot points, solar plex and the waist. Legs go out that far. Legs go out that far that way. She does kind of have a butt flap. So you're kind of, it's sort of hit or miss. Leg kind of does move up and down. Bicep swivel there. Double jointed knees. Unfortunately, no boot swivel. That would have been the bee's knees. And I wish that she had pivoted toes like the McFarlane toys. That would have been great. But overall, the range of motion that we get with this figure, the 30 accessories, and this is a million times cheaper than like Mezco or Medicom, Mafex. So if you guys love the more medieval type fantasy stuff, this figure is definitely for you, and I'm glad that I picked it up. Now here's Red Sonja next to some of the other Femme Fatales that we've already gone over. This is the DC Collectibles Harley Quinn. That up there is the Marvel Legends Warlock Build-A-Figure Wave Polaris. This is the Bone Crusher Wave Siren. Now if you're wondering, why does she have Red Sonja's head on? This is why I said that in the review. I don't understand why Hasbro thought this would hold water when this is what we wanted for a Siren figure. Now, unfortunately, Sonja's head doesn't fit quite well on there, so you can kind of see how it sort of sits off. But still, this is what we freaking wanted from Siren, and I don't understand why they didn't give us a whole lot with her. Why couldn't they give us 2 freaking heads? And then this orange is bullshit. So Banshee. Siren's hair has always been more red to me. So I mean, if you want to do some X-Force, what do you call it? Photography, I would definitely say get the Sonja head so you can at least get that right screaming face going on. Now also, as we were just seeing with Sonja, where she has all these bendable points. See how Siren, even Harley from back in the day, and Polaris, they only twist here. See, that pops off, so we're unfortunately going to go back to the ugly head. Like, it's not ugly, but she looks more like, what's her name, Max from Stranger Things in this, with this head sculpt. But see how she doesn't have the waist, she only spins here. We don't get the range of motion that EPIC H.A.C.K.S really put the thought into with this figure. And even these old ones, I mean, we're not going to talk about the articulation with that. I'm just glad that we've come a long way, and this figure just blows all 3 of these ladies out of the water in terms of posability, being photogenic, and having all sorts of options to make her look awesome in front of the camera. So what are you going to do with your X-Force figures, your medieval-esque figures, your X-Men figures, your Batman displays? Are you going to do, what do you call it, teams on a shelf? Are you going to do action figure photography? Let us know. We'd love to see photos over on the socials. I'm most definitely thankful that I picked up this figure. It encompasses everything from the Marvel era as well as the Dynamite Comics era, and it just has that awesome comic accurate look to it. I wish I had a Conan to put next to her, but for the time being, I gotta say that I am glad to Boss Fight Studios for giving us a very awesome looking Red Sonja with the versatility of 30 accessories and being able to just completely take her apart and kit bash her as we see fit. So from a collector's point of view, appreciate you guys very much. So if you've enjoyed what you've seen with this awesome figure, as I said at the beginning, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or where there's like to get your action figures and comics and see if they have this in stock. If not, check out the places that we talked about at the beginning of the review. Speaking of, if you did enjoy this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Sonja bell next subscribe, that way I can tip content, you guys get notified, come to the channel, and I love talking with you and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description. So with all that said, photo slideshow coming up next. Hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.